Buonasera. Buonasera. Sera a chi c'è già? C'è qualcuno? Sperando di sì. Sera a chi deve arrivare. Come va? Come va? Spero che il volume audio sia a posto. Ciao Niki. Ai 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 ai. Vediamo un po'. Credo di sì. Credo che il volume sia a posto. Sto parlando a bassa voce, però direi che è ok. Allora, che si fa stasera? Mm? Ah, fatemi avvisare. Oh, sera? Fatemi avvisare che sono live. Tu. Ok. Mandato. Allora, stasera vi porto Stanley Parable. Però prima di vorrei un attimo cercare la sinossi. Ok, sono letteralmente 2 righe. Stanley è un dipendente di un'azienda che lavora a computer ed esegue le istruzioni che gli vengono impartite a schermo. Un giorno, non ricevendo più alcun compito, si accorge che l'ufficio è completamente vuoto e decide di lasciare la sua stanza per esplorare l'edificio e indagare sul presunto mistero. Questa è la trama. È presente un narratore che ha lo scopo di informare e guidare il protagonista. Quello che so io è che si può decidere se ignorare o seguire il narratore in quello che ci dice. Ora, qual è il vostro compito? Il vostro compito insieme a me è quello di decidere le scelte che Stanley dovrà prendere durante il suo percorso. Ok? Quindi spero che ci siate attivi e direi di passare altrove. Eccoci. Lo vedo un po' lento il mouse, Ok, spero anche di non coprire nulla con... Ci si prova. Ah, vabbè, l'importante è provarci. Allora, sono col joystick e direi che... Si sente il volume sotto? Magari lo alzo un pochettino. Vediamo se... Ok, vediamo un po' con l'audio come va. Abbiamo. The end is loading. Direi che va bene, ok, perfetto. È la prima volta che lo avvio perché non so come funziona. Dopo le ultime sorprese di 12 Minutes, che avviandolo poi dovevo cancellare i dati di gioco, ho detto avviamolo insieme. Anzi, in realtà mi ha sbloccato un obiettivo, anche. Perché l'ho avviato, poi l'ho chiuso e poi l'ho riavviato e mi ha sbloccato un achievement.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Ci sono i sottotitoli.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Diciamo che sottotitoli completi, lingua... Ah, lingua italiano? Ah, lingua sottotitoli italiano, ok. Ok. Ok, per la lingua di sottotitoli deve riavviare il gioco. Ok, va bene. Gioco della Valve.
This is the story of a man.
Ok, va bene. L'avete capita, immagino. Allora, motore grafico lo stesso di Portal.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly.
Penso di
The
aver
thing to
chiuso
do
io la
now,
porta.
Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Credo fosse uno dei finali. Credo di aver triggrato un finale. Provando i tasti e chiudendo la porta. Ok, ci si può accucciare. Non serve a granché. Però non si può saltare. Dove spazio? Non puoi saltare? Perfetto, direi di no. Perché volevo vedere la configurazione dei tasti. Ok, non chiudere la porta. E le altre sono chiuse.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
C'è una porta, ma... Quindi magari facciamo il giro. Mi ricorda quella creepypasta, secondo...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ok. Ok. E qua si inizia. Mi dice che entro in quella di sinistra. Cosa facciamo? Andiamo in quella di destra o ascoltiamo quel che dice? Possiamo farlo anche più volte, non è un problema. Andiamo a destra, ok.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Ok, di nuovo. Continuiamo a non ascoltarlo o... Non lo so, non mi convince. Comunque dicevo, mi ricorda quella creepypasta secondo cui è possibile clippare attraverso le pareti e ritrovarsi in questo ufficio tutto giallo, vuoto. Prova ad ascoltarlo. Va bene.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Però qua c'è un qualcosa con un bottone. C'è un bottone da premere. Voglio premere quel bottone. Era troppo bello per non premerlo.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Si può aprire. Ok, ci ho provato.
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Siamo sicuri? Ok, mi fido.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to,
Cos'è, tipo...
Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Uffa! Continua a mandarmi indietro.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Allora, proviamo ad ascoltarlo del tutto ora.
When Stanley... Wait.
No.
Wait, what?
Ok.
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Ok, di là non si può andare, di qua. Mi sembra che si connettano queste, mentre queste no. Ok, abbiamo un po' di opzioni, anche se l'unica con un'uscita mi sembra quella là dietro. Quindi direi di fare il giro di qua e entrare. Troppa scelta, va bene, vado io.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Che stronzo. Va bene.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Beh, direi che ha risolto un problema.
It's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Queste porte sono chiuse. Si può aprire.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Che figata queste cose. Che giro in tondo.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Oh no.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building.
Is that
correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time, I have to restart.
Lo vedete fluido il gioco voi, vero? Io continuo a guardare, ogni tanto lo vedo a scatti, ma... per la mia connessione...
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Beh, con tutto questo impegno, cosa fai? Non la segui? Ogni tanto scatta un po'. No, allora, vedo anch'io che scatta ogni tanto, non riesco a capire se è il gioco, perché il gioco scatticchia ogni tanto, ma perché è vecchio. È un gioco vecchio della Valve e purtroppo hanno questi problemi. Però la maggior parte si vede bene, ok. L'importante è che non dia fastidio troppo. Però mi dispiacerebbe. Lo dava anche con Portal questo problema.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood. cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Non ne sono sicuro, però ok.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Oh no, di nuovo.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Questo lì sta è proprio ogni tanto che sbabbia. Però
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
ok.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley,
Ok.
I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again.
Oh no, it's
Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Che la ignori quella TM. Ok, se n'è andata. Non può farci del male.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control.
Quindi posso
How
scegliere io dove
important we
andare.
mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay,
Davvero?
so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds
ascolto,
with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask,
Molto
will
probabile.
taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Confusion
Hold
ending.
on, what's this? The confusion
Ah,
ending.
è tutto quello che
You're
abbiamo
telling me
fatto.
that's what this is? It's all one giant ending?
Find the line again.
And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to
Siamo
the
al quinto.
schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well,
Comunque erano
who
collegate le due
consulted
porte.
me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
E quindi?
And the timer stopped? Does that mean... did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
Oh no, era un
The,
loop. Di
whatever
nuovo.
it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey. Though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we?
Stanley,
Eventually.
dai.
Well, in the meantime, if you do happen to have a...
Ti prego, no, non farmeli far tutti. Sì, l'ho letto. Ok.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Si è scordato.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
A meno che non siamo tornati.
When Stanley came to a set of two open
Inottenibile.
doors, he entered the
È una
door on
bugia.
his left.
Ok, ora ascoltiamolo. Ok, evidentemente è ricominciato tutto normalmente. Sto giro era un finale.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Cabal. Cabal è quello del il gioco, quello dello spazio, se non ricordo male. Creare creature. Synergies paper. Fire paper guy. Sì, l'ho visto. Assumere qualcuno che licenzi il ragazzo della carta. Ok. Tomorrow, complete 2 days and finish at agenda. Reflect. Like yourself. Sembrano le slide, quelle dell'università, ma molto più belle. Comatose. Metamorphosi. Monetize free to play. Un gacha? Bello che possiamo leggere tutto comunque. Work harder, hard worker. No, penso fosse così, ma ok. Money, more money. Graph. Graph about things plus money. Ok.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ah, però complimenti. Capo?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled,
Quello lì è il logo
Stanley wondered in
del
disbelief
gioco.
who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Ah. Accidenti.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Sì, infatti non mi fa interagire più che altro.
2845.
Sì, ma come? Non il
forgot,
telefono,
but it
l'apparecchio.
turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in,
Non lo vedo.
and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Ah, era sulla parete? Me lo sono perso. Non l'ho proprio visto, sarà che era un po' scuro da me, non l'ho proprio visto.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No, abbiamo deciso che... Oh my god! Ciao Jumpy. Abbiamo deciso di ascoltarlo a sto giro. Ascoltiamolo.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television
di nuovo.
screens.
Eravamo sopra
What
prima.
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Che bei bottoni.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Posso disattivarlo da questo bottone rosso o devo andare a cercare... No, ok, devo cercare quello grosso, immagino. Buttare... Mi ricorda il corridoio degli incredibili, quello con in fondo il computerone.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Beh, ma come? Easy, no? Off, on. E se il narratore ci dice di spegnerlo, noi lo spegniamo.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
Niente torta.
And Stanley was happy.
Però Stanley è felice. Quindi va bene così. Finisci il gioco. Ok. E ora si ricomincia.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
Sì, ma
mean?
ricomincia.
Stanley decided to
Ora,
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
prima l'abbiamo
simply missed a
ascoltato,
memo.
ora facciamo tutto l'opposto di quello che ci dice, facciamolo innervosire. Oppure potremo vedere le varie opzioni, quindi seguire quello che dice lui e fare però accendere il macchinario oppure scappare all'ultimo.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Quale opzione prendiamo? Facciamo tutto quello che dice lui e cambiamo il finale oppure facciamo tutto l'opposto di quello che dice lui? Proviamo ad accendere il macchinario. Ok, andiamo su, allora giù. E andiamo su on. Tanto non ci si mette tanto.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a
Anche qua si
staircase,
può
Stanley
scegliere dove
walked
andare.
upstairs to his boss's office.
Allora. Il macchinario. Dietro
Stepping into his
all'ufficio.
manager's office, Stanley was once
eccolo.
again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean?
Sì, a destra,
Stanley wondered aloud.
però poi
to
abbiamo
nobody.
fatto, siamo
He began
tornati
wildly tearing
nella
through
strada
papers
normale.
on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf,
È
looking
quello
behind
confuso,
paintings,
perché abbiamo fatto un po' uno,
desperate
un po'
for
l'altro,
clues to his
probabilmente è quello.
situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's
Finale
desk.
finale credo che sia
What could
quello che
its
abbiamo
purpose be?
fatto ora.
In
Perché mi ha
fact,
sbloccato
this keypad
l'achievement.
guarded the terrible
Gli altri
secret
non me
that lay
l'hanno
buried below
sbloccato.
his feet. And so the boss had assigned... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some
Offeso.
calming new age music.
No, ora ci fa aspettare perché... Va bene.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward
Grazie.
into the opened passageway.
Allora, da qua. Bottone sotto. Sa una speedrun di sto gioco che devi sapere esattamente quando fare le cose, se no il narratore ti blocca e ti fa perdere tempo.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
vedete
Mind
che
Control
c'era
Facility.
l'escape qua. Che possiamo fare tranquillamente, ci si mette talmente poco.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
4. Ci sono altri bottoni con numeri? È che si vede veramente poco in sostanza. Ah, eccoli qua. 1, 2. 3. No, 5. Questo? 3. 4. 5 era là. Che non fosse la sequenza giusta? Altri bottoni non mi sembra ce ne siano qua dentro. Bottone rosso. Proviamo. Proviamo, c'era un bottone rosso qua davanti. Vediamo se... No, non me ci fa cliccare. Vabbè, tanto poi prima di chiudere ovviamente ci vediamo tutto. O in game o non in game. E accendiamolo.
And when at last he found the saw. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of them for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go.
Oh my God!
Leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex.
Yeah.
How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Forse
It's
ora.
your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off?
Perché?
I mean, look at you, running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Sold? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice.
Per
Make it
forza.
count. Or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Provate a premere il bottone. Una scritta nera, io ho visto goodbye employee. C'era il numero. Ehi. E voi vedete più cose.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either.
questo qua è il tragitto
Feeling a
normale. A
wave
questo
of
punto allora
disbelief,
prendi qua.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase,
Fastidio.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Infastidiamolo.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Questa è una bella domanda.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
F.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Abbiamo rotto Stanley.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Lo di mia madre.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Povero Stanley. Com'è introspettiva questa storia. E siamo di nuovo qua.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
E questa l'avevamo fatta.
Wow.
Siamo arrivati però
Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Eravamo arrivati qua e ci eravamo bloccati e eravamo andati di là e c'era il bottone e siamo scesi. Quello era quello confuso. Invece andando di
Stanley
qua.
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
No jump. Ah, ok. Ci danno anche la multa se moriamo. Perfetto.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Solo che
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm
come
not.
si fa a non
I
provare?
realize that investing your trust in someone
Ora ci
else can
porterà là.
be difficult,
Però.
but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to
everywhere.
show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Va bene. Io intanto vado. Bello che questi sono tutti uffici.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
È tipo Matrix. Via.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood.
No,
Stanley
ho capito.
walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Fastidiavolo.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Beh, come si fa a dire di no a una porta in legno?
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Ma in realtà molto banale.
Oh, well, now this is useful. You didn't like it, but you didn't totally hate it either. You enjoyed it, perhaps is the correct term. It didn't cause you excruciating
Dolore
pain.
estremo.
Big steps we've made here today, Stanley. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Ok. Obiettivi ranked. Che bruttissima persona. Va bene, sai cosa?
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors?
No.
Again,
Aveva
honest
schifo.
answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
È fastidiosissimo. Sono convinto che qualcosa ci sia dopo 4 ore. Ma non per noi.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough?
Non posso
Well, I'll say
saltare.
this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here. No,
sì, ma non
here.
posso-
And then... Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. But you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make
bellissimo.
yourself comfortable.
Va bene.
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go.
Oh, che la musica.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
È tutto bellissimo. Però non c'è luce.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear here. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Ho sentito i vostri. Ok. Cosa mi fai fare? Sapevo che era Portal, non potevano non metterlo.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
No, è di qua l'uscita. Vabbè. Bene uguale.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte. Genius.
È bellissimo. Io voglio sentirlo
No,
litigare
actually,
con
you know what?
GLaDOS.
I think that's plenty.
No.
I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games. And I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just going to leave you here. You can pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you.
E quindi ci siamo mollati qua. Al buio. Sono caduto. Ok, si vede poco nulla. Questo è già più inquietante. Scusate, perché più che altro per voi. Perché credo non si può aumentare la luminosità. Niente, va bene. F. Luce. Non so per quale motivo mi sono venute in mente le texture, quelle mancanti di Gmod.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait. A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Ok, cambiato qualcosa. Perlomeno l'audio del narratore è cambiato.
When Stanley came to a set of two
Okay.
open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Direi facciamo ancora un paio di prove. Poi
Yet there was not a
non ce
single
n'è
person here
non ce ne
either.
sono finestre.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley
Sono tutte
decided to go
chiuse.
up to his boss's office. Hoping he might coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Era il codice?
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Ok. Grazie. È stato più veloce di quanto immaginassi. Non mi voglia neanche lui di passare di qua.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the
Domanda prima di continuare. Il mio vicino ha iniziato a cantare dalla finestra. Se lo sentite ditemelo in chat che la chiudo.
word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death. As the machine whirred into motion, and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this life is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Non c'è il tasto di salto. Vai.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Chi resta qua?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Belle le moto che sgasano.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Oh no, il paradiso. E quindi quello che parla è Dio. Oh. Ciao Leo. Benvenuto. Buonasera. Due parole. Ok. E da qua quindi? Ok. 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 Qua l'abbiamo fatta. Tutto, vedi che dicono. Sì, sto guardando tutto. Il credit. Ok. Io non vorrei andare avanti più che altro. Non so, office. Ok. Ok. Carino. È un museo. Underground. Narration outtake.
Stanley stood on the
Ok. 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 No, secondo me non cambia, secondo me sono proprio fasi di sviluppo. Quindi secondo me sono quello senza texture, quello con texture e questo non saprei, forse la versione base. Sì, è 1, 2, 3. Office Cloud, ok. Ok, Freedom Handling. Countdown. Ok, sono tutte le versioni base. Monitor room elevator. L'immagine sia un'uscita. Game design mockup. The level that William, the level that I send David, the brother, ok, che è la versione quella tutta spaccata, distrutta dove ci ha mandato lui nell'altro finale. Sì, molto carino vedere tutte le scelte di gioco. Evolution of Stanley Office Overtime 2011, 2012, 2013. 11. Ok, l'hanno fatta più lunga la scrivania. 13. Più scura. E con i cassetti aperti. Ok, ci sta. Ok, da questa parte abbiamo visto. Controllino veloce. Narrator email. Dopo il secondo trailer. Questo non è. Ah, ok, sono una serie di email che hanno mandato al narratore. Eh, ok, volevano metterli nei trailer, però alla fine hanno deciso di lasciar perdere. HD Remix. Allora, questi screenshot probabilmente sono veri perché il gioco doveva uscire l'anno scorso in una versione ottimizzata. Ok, no, queste cose evidentemente sono quelli del 2012. Ok, però doveva uscire l'anno scorso in versione ottimizzata. La versione è stata cancellata per il Covid e quindi dovrebbe uscire nel 2021, quindi ormai non credo, o 2022. Warzone. Ok. No, scusate, c'ho una ciglia nell'occhio. Scusate. Qualche rotta aggiuntiva? Sì, deve ancora uscire. Non tolgo che si potrebbe provare quando esce. Magari essendo ottimizzata si evitano anche questi lag che fa ogni tanto il protagonista o lo scattare della voce. Anche perché, ripeto, è un gioco della Valve, è ottimizzato col culo. Come tutti i giochi della Valve di quegli anni.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice.
Cioè,
Don't choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
ok. Direi che abbiamo fatto il nostro. Fatemi controllare un attimo una cosa. Come potrebbe essere questo qua? È Heaven Ending? No, museo? Porta di destra. Con la Games Ending. Art Ending, potrebbe essere questo? No. Cioè, ce ne sono tantissimi ragazzi di finali, sono veramente troppi. Allora, andiamo un po'. Posso condividervela questa in realtà? Ehm, No, non è crashato il gioco, è diventato nero. È proprio diventato nero. Però, vediamo un attimo. Endings. Allora. Mappa delle scelte. Facciamoci un attimo un'idea di che cosa abbiamo davanti. Ho trovato due grafici, infatti. Non uno, due. Sono un passo avanti a te. Allora, intanto... cargo, jump on a talk, no? No? Art, museum. Ok, ok, però questa qua mi sembra più... Allora, questo me lo condivido intanto. Vediamo se posso... Allora, è molto probabile che il gioco riparta riavviandolo o aspettando 15 minuti. Possiamo provare un attimo a riavviarlo. Giusto per Ah no, ritorna al menu. Ti puoi fare direttamente così. Avvia il gioco. E si ricomincia, ok.
This is the story of a man.
Ok, ricomincia direttamente da zero. Ok. Vediamo un attimo gli ex. Achievement. Ok, gioca a Stanley Parable per un intero martedì. Meno di 4 minuti caricamento esclusi. Non giocare a Stanley Parable per 5 anni. Ok. Crediti, azioni extra, achievement, salvataggi. Ok. 8, non so cosa sia. Comunque, direi che il gioco possiamo chiuderlo. Finiamo con un po' d'anticipo oggi, dato che abbiamo raggiunto un finale che blocca tutto. Direi che passiamo tanto alla schermata questa qua. Ok. Aggiungi. Vedo se riesco, Vediamo se riesco. Eccola qua. Questo sembrerebbe essere qua. Il grafico di tutte le varie scelte. Ok? Ora non siamo a guardarle tutte, però vedo che i finali sono molti. Non so quanti ne abbiamo fatti di preciso. Possiamo controllare un attimo, facciamo tipo un check dei finali. Stanley Parable Handling. Esatto. Esatto. Allora, come le divide in left door e in right door? Ok, perché l'altra immagine che avevo trovato, questa qua era per farvi vedere quanti sono. Vediamo invece un po' più nel dettaglio. L'ho scaricata? Mi chiude la porta subito. Era quello confuso, sì. Confusion. Confusion. Come ve lo condivido? Qua così di nuovo. Scusate. Eccolo qua. Penso fossero diversi, può darsi. A questo punto può darsi. Comunque eccoli qua alcuni, questi qua sono... non mi sembrano tutti. Potrebbe essere anche. Allora, finale serio non l'abbiamo fatto. Servono i cheat. Whiteboard, ufficio blu. A volte. Ok. Ok, quello Heaven c'è una sequenza. Type face punch. Text change. Ok, il reluctant l'abbiamo fatto. La finestra, è vero, c'era una finestra, quindi il song e voiceover non l'abbiamo fatto. Prendi la stanza di sinistra. Escape pod non l'abbiamo fatto. Il life l'abbiamo fatto. Museum. bomb. Questi tre l'abbiamo fatti. Non so cosa cambia da quelli... questi qua arancioni. Wait before going up in the spray room and press like bulb button. Ok, questo è il voice for the music. Ok. Mentre dall'altro lato abbiamo avuto il confusion perché era il carrellino, quello l'abbiamo fatto. Perché qua andava poi in un loop. Immagino che cargo. Ah, se ti butti di sotto muori. Il telefono non l'abbiamo fatto. Baby game. Gioca per 4 ore. Ok, quindi c'era davvero il gioca per 4 ore. Ah, il giochino del bambino che è un pazzo lo fa. O lo metti in loop. Lo metti lì con il tasto super del mouse e lo fai andare. Infatti abbiamo fatto games ma non art. Lo space, se scegli la porta rossa che non l'abbiamo fatta, quindi abbiamo scelto sempre la blu. Peccato, poteva essere carino il finale space in effetti. Beh, però ne abbiamo fatti, Ne abbiamo fatti. Per essere stata una one shot in blind è stata impegnativa. Bello, bello il gioco, mi è piaciuto. Spero sia piaciuto anche a voi, sinceramente. Questo lo rimpiccioliamo, lo teniamo qua come memento. Ok. E... oh, mi ha fatto piacere giocarlo, recuperarlo così. È stato divertente. Sì, è stato divertente. Ora per la prossima live è sabato prossimo, che giochiamo a Melty Blood. Melty Blood è quello vecchio, l'ultimo uscito, così poi lo possiamo confrontare con quello nuovo quando esce. Porto avanti, io coi picchiaduro sono lì, però vi sto allenando. Mi sto allenando anche per darvi qualche chicca interessante sul universo di Melty Blood. E poi da settimana prossima invece abbiamo Night in the Woods con Charlotte. Praticamente sono 2 volte a settimana più il sabato a scelta per 2 settimane se non sbaglio. Se i conti sono giusti. Se ho fatto i conti giusti. E poi a ottobre se ne riparla. Potremmo avere un Doki Doki in arrivo con Lisa. Molto probabile. Lisa, che ovviamente sia Lisa che Safer trovate nel link qua sopra di me di Telegram, del gruppo Telegram. E direi di controllare un attimo la cosa. Doki Doki Blind. Io purtroppo no. Io non sono blind di Doki Doki perché no. Ma Lisa sì. Lisa non sa assolutamente niente di Doki Doki. Infatti qual è la cosa? In realtà dovevamo giocarlo sul suo canale, però lei non è pratica di smanettamenti tra cartelle e quindi lo si gioca sul mio con io che la guido. Alla fine è una visual novel, non è che debba fare chissà che. Avrò la guida lì accanto per fare le determinate scelte e proverò a spingerla in qualche modo a farle e dirò, ah guarda questo qua, se fatto così potrebbe succedere questa cosa, ovviamente non così chiaro, però potrebbe essere molto interessante perché ripeto, lei è blind, credo anche Nikki sia blind e potrebbe essere molto interessante, molto molto interessante. Ora io ne approfitto e dato che con Charlotte ci vediamo poi settimana prossima, ne approfitto e vi mando da lei che sta giocando a The Last of Us parte 2. Ok? Che ne dite? Che è sempre bello vedere The Last of Us. Io vi ringrazio per la compagnia, spero davvero vi sia piaciuto il tutto e ci vediamo sabato. Grazie, notte a tutti, ciao, e rimanete in live che ora vi mando a fare un raid. Ciao.